welcome back to the Marvel Movie Minute, a daily podcast in which we smash apart the films of the Marvel Cinematic Universe into 1-minute chunks so we can analyze them in scrupulous detail. I'm Kyle Olson from the Road to Infinity podcast.
Hey, and I'm Rob Cabasco, and listen, I'm going to make this minute really simple.
Okay.
Go! Multiple times in 60 seconds, I went, oh, what are you doing?
Like,
what? No!
Oh, it's almost sitcom-y?
Yeah.
It's like just on the line.
No.
Yeah.
Like, I want Jack Ritter to pop in on the side. God bless Jack Ritter, right? Like, you know what I mean? Like I want him to a Three's Company. Like, this almost had a feeling of a weird 70s sitcom where you're just like,
right.
what?
In
What
one
are
door
you
and out the
doing?
other. And...
With some really very cool framing moments in the cinematography, which we'll talk
true.
about.
All right, so we're going to talk about minute 41 of Louis Leterrier's 2008 Incredible Hulk movie. We pick up where we left off, which is Bruce in the computer lab. He is still on his online encrypted chat conversation with Mr. Blue. We finished the conversation, and Mr. Blue has said, "So what now?" And Bruce answers, "I've got to keep moving. Ain't nothing gonna break his stride. Nobody gonna slow him down. Oh no. Oh no. He's got to keep on moving."
Oh, I should have had the I didn't know you were going to go there. That's great.
But yeah, so basically I think Bruce here's making a decision like, well, it's all gone. I can't get it. I've already overstayed my welcome. I'm in a dangerous area. I gotta get out of here. So his next plan is to get the heck out of Dodge. And that's what we see, is then we cut immediately to his room over the pizza parlor, over Stanley's diner, Stanley's pizza parlor. It's Stanley's, but what is Stanley's what? Do we know what it's called? I know it's Stanley's, but I don't know what Stanley's restaurant?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Pizzeria.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pizzeria, yeah, that would make sense. And we see him immediately packing his stuff. And so he's getting ready to move again. And what I think is interesting is, first of all, what is he packing? Because Bruce doesn't own anything.
Well, he's got stuff now.
He's got stuff now.
Well,
so I
he's been
assume
able to pick some few
this
things
is
up.
a gift from Stanley.
Yeah, gift. Stanley probably gave him some money.
Yep.
He got some things.
Or like basically, my son's clothes are up there. You can just take them. Like, give him the bag, give him the clothes.
Right.
Because Stanley's a hell of a guy.
Now, I wish we could figure out, if I had a little bit more Photoshop algorithms, the lamp that's on that side
You
table.
can't just say enhance.
No.
Enhance.
It wouldn't have worked there. I want to know what that lamp is, because that lamp looks amazing. And this whole room looks like a time capsule from 1975.
That's true.
So
With
whoever's the
groovy,
set designer, you're just...
lower intestine wallpaper.
Yeah, and just everything, like pictures on the wall.
Oh, yeah, look at
and the
that.
mirrors. There's tons of grandparents' houses out there that have
true.
rooms that look just like this. So bravo. This is really well done. It sets
very
the tone.
well. Let's say that I would imagine, I couldn't find where this was shot, but I imagine this is built. I mean, imagine this is like a set that they constructed, because I doubt that I mean, the restaurant's real, but I doubt that has a nice 70s furnished apartment above it that they could actually use to shoot into. Plus, the angles they get, Bruce looking in the mirror, obviously he's not looking into the mirror at himself, he's looking at the camera. And we see him making the choice of, oh man, here I go again. I gotta go. Here I gotta hit the road again. Already stretching out those quads, because gotta hit the road.
Fate clearly will not interfere with my plans to leave quietly into the night.
Right. I'll move on somewhere else. I'll just drop by Mr. Blue's place and be like, how about just me? Yeah. So we go immediately downstairs and we see Stanley is trying to close up again. Oh, it's the second night in a row. Stanley just wants to close at a reasonable time.
You know what he should do?
What?
Lock the door and turn off the lights. You notice that's never been done. The lights are on, right?
True.
Apparently the door's open.
Yeah.
Here's a clue. Lock the door. Turn off all the lights.
He keeps a tight schedule. So he closes immediately at 10. Actually, I don't know exactly what time it is in there. It's not really a clock, but I'm saying and so it's 9:55. I've worked retail. I know what it's like. You're trying to close everything up. You're like, oh man, the money's counted, the things are closed. Here we go, and then somebody has to walk in 5 minutes before. You're like, come on, man.
And especially when it's somebody you know,
right?
Because this is somebody I want to take care of you. I'm just gonna be like, get out of here.
A regular customer. It's even worse. You're like, oh, now I gotta be nice and break out everything that I just put away again.
He's not worried about Yelp. There's no. Is there Yelp? I don't know.
2008?
Nah. I don't know. He's not worried about any of that. He's just like, no, we're out of here.
So we get to see Betty walking in with, and finally we get to see the mystery man.
Oh.
We still don't know his name, but we know that is Ty Burrell. Ty Burrell, who actually I thought, I know he he broke on Modern Family. So like this within a couple of years, with about 2 years, he'll be on Modern Family, and from there he'll go on to do amazing things. But I was like, man, what had Ty Burrell done before that? Turns out a whole ton of stuff. Because he was here, let me give you a quick quiz. He was a New York actor, so he appeared on
Broadway.
No.
Oh.
If you're any kind of actor on New York,
right,
you have at some point appeared on Law and Order.
Oh, are you serious?
Yes, he's done Law and Order. Every New York actor.
Dun, dun. I should have the thing, right?
Every New York actor has appeared.
That's right.
And some multiple times. They have died multiple times on Law and Order.
They've murdered someone.
Yes, or
they poisoned the person.
So they've been killed, or they were then the killer later on. So as a totally different person, because you live in New York long enough.
Don't you love?
You're going to appear on Law and Order.
All those shows, even like all the NCISs, right?
Yeah.
All the great little opportunities for actors of all different ages, all wherever you're at the beginning of your career, the middle,
sometimes
or the
you're
end.
the guy that leads you to the guy.
Yes.
Like John Mulaney's bit about the guy who won't stop stacking boxes even though he's being interviewed about a murder.
Yeah.
His favorite character. Yeah, so he's done Law and Order. I also, I think that I found incredibly impressive. He appeared on an episode of The West Wing. And
really
during Aaron Sorkin's tenure too, so he was on the Women of Kumar episode, which is a famous episode of West Wing too. But he he got to do it wasn't even like the later West Wing that wasn't his stuff. Like he got to do Aaron Sorkin dialogue.
The heyday at the height.
Yeah,
at
exactly.
The height of it, right.
Let's see some of his other highlights I found. He was in Evolution. Remember Evolution with David Duchovny? That was supposed to be the next Ghostbusters, and it was just a gigantic failure.
Oh my God.
Yeah, but everybody's got to pay their bills. He was in Black Hawk Down.
What?
Yeah. He was in Dawn of the Dead, the Zack Snyder Dawn of the Dead, and also he was in National Treasure 2: Book of Secrets.
With what part?
He was like the presidential aide. By the time he gets to Incredible Hulk, he's got a pretty good resume. Like, he's not a nobody, and this wasn't like his first role. It was just like for him, just at a gig before he was about to hit big time.
He hits big time.
He gets big time.
And then he does Muppets too.
That's right. Oh, Muppets Most Wanted. Oh, I love that movie. He's so good in that movie because he's like, there's certain people who can act with Muppets, and he is one of them because he full-on commits to it. Just like Michael Caine says, you can't think of them as puppets or anything like that. You have to look in their plastic eyes and
see
think
their
that's
soul.
a person, right? And commit to it, and he does. Ty commits to it. I think he's great in that movie and doing a ridiculous accent, which I love too. So then, of course, he'd go on to play Phil Dunphy. Yes, and from that he gained 2 Emmy Awards and 5 SAG Awards. That's that's one not nominated.
Wow.
Yeah. So this is at the cusp. He's just about to break big.
Way to go.
Yeah. So he is playing Dr. Leonard Samson. So Doc Samson is a character who debuted in Incredible Hulk number 141 in July of 1971. He was created by Roy Thomas and Herb Trimpe, 2 longtime Hulk guys. Doc Samson is an interesting character because he is basically his defining characteristic is not his green hair, which he will have, or his strength. It's that he's kind of a dick. I say that not to be. You can be a jerk, you can be a weirdo, you can be aggressive, but he's just kind of a dick in all the stuff he does. He ends up treating the Hulk, and so he's like a super psychologist. So he's like a scientist psychologist, and so he starts treating Bruce and ends up splitting him from the Hulk.
Oh.
So for a while there were 2 separate beings. Well, it turns out that Bruce was a really good influence on the Hulk, because as soon as you split, the Hulk goes insane and it becomes way more aggressive and going after. There's nothing to hold him back.
Who would have thought?
Yeah, right. So then, of course, they had the Hulk. They drained the gamma radiation out of it, and he's like, "Hey, what do you suppose that gamma radiation tastes like?" And so,
what?
So he doses himself with the gamma radiation, and then he turns into a gamma radiated thing. So, but instead
not a Hulk. He turns into
he gets huge. So he gets swole, essentially. Right. He gets green hair, which, because he's Doc Samson, where do you suppose his power comes from? Oh yeah, the length of his hair. So for the first thing, he had long, luscious green locks that hanged all the way down his back, ponytails all the time. But then eventually, his basically another creative team took over and went, yeah, that's kind of dumb. So his gamma radiation issue works itself out, and then he's just He just has green hair, and he's strong. So basically, he's being strong. But his personality doesn't really change. He was always kind of an arrogant jerk, and he remained that way inside. Like, every time there was a decision in the superhero community about, like, which way they go, he always chooses the bad side. He like, worked with the Thunderbolts. He was on the wrong side of Civil War. He helped design a superhero prison for everyone who resisted during Civil War. I mean, like, is constantly, like, making the bad choice.
So this is a very different portrayal, right? I mean,
I guess we'll see in this one. He doesn't make the best choices either. But see, he's never evil though. He just makes, like, very rational, sensitive decisions that make him be kind of a jerk.
No.
So
Gotcha.
yeah, that's Doc Samson. So that's who he's playing here, even though it's never explicitly spelled out. That is the character that he's playing this. So in this one, he's just Leonard, but it's Dr. Leonard Samson. And apparently there was the intent that he would go on to appear in the future Hulk sequels that they were intending.
Oh,
so as of this recording, that has not happened.
However,
yeah,
there is a possibility of a series on Disney Plus.
It's true.
Who knows?
Yeah, that's right. They're as of time
he may have more time.
They're
on his hands.
developing the She-Hulk series, so there could be a way for them to.
There's that's interesting.
By the time She-Hulk would be shooting, then Modern Family will have wrapped.
It's already done. He's already.
They already finished?
Oh yeah, I think they've already wrapped most of it.
Because I know they haven't aired all the episodes yet
Right.
at this point in history. But so maybe he's done. So he's a free agent, and he's got a good relationship with Disney.
And he is in the Disney family. That would make a lot of sense.
Disney Plus executives.
Right,
Ty Burrell is just a phone call away.
Listen to us.
So
for Ty Burrell.
I know, right? So back to the matter at hand here. So poor Stanley just wants to send Bruce on his way, but no, he's got two of his regular customers, and also the fact that, oh yeah, that's right, your fugitive ex-boyfriend's in
who murdered people.
Yeah, right. So like Stanley's got to play it way cool.
I got nothing. We're all cleared out.
Right.
Got no food.
Yeah, he says all I've got is marinara. That's all he says. But this is what I find interesting. Then Betty says, "Oh, but I need to have a Mr. Pink." I was like, "What the heck is a Mr. Pink?" So I had to look it up, and I found what a Mr. Pink is.
It's a Shirley
Mr.
Temple.
Pink.
Is it a Shirley Temple?
No, Mr. Pink is actually a kind of pizza. It is a particular style of pizza. So it is pizza with Creole chicken, plum tomatoes, fresh garlic, and mozzarella.
Well, that's a lot of work.
I know. For a guy who says he just has marinara, she's ordering a full, Betty, deluxe pizza.
What are you doing?
Betty.
He just
Come
told
on.
you he's got Wait, you're telling me that, the one thing that's not on that pizza?
What?
Marinara.
Yeah.
Well, that
He's
doesn't
the one
make
thing
any
he
sense.
just said is marinara. Like, I mean, I assume it's red sauce.
You know what?
What?
No! Come on.
She's being a little overbearing here. I mean, I was thinking like, oh, this is probably date night. That's what I'm thinking. But at the time he says, Leonard says, oh, she worked through dinner again. So she has not anything to eat. So the poor girl is hungry. Yeah, so what's Stanley to do when one of his favorite regular customers comes in and wants a full deluxe pizza?
Well, I can tell you what
10 o'clock at night, 9:59 or whatever it is.
Well, I can tell you what Stanley. Okay, let me digress for a second.
Sure.
This is where I'm going to bring back another Three's Company reference.
Yeah.
Because this now becomes the sitcom of this.
Yeah.
Stanley's like, okay, this is weird. Mm-hmm. I'm a little nervous, but I can
kicking her out would be even weirder.
Right, that would be weird. I can't do that.
Right.
But hey, Bruce, he's a smart guy. It's not. He's going to hear commotion. It's not going to he's just going to barge into the dining room and be like, "Hey, what's going on, everybody? What's happening?" Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Which kind of gets me to the crazy part of this minute. What happens? I mean, this is total Jack Tripper. Oh, and I merged Jack Tripper and John.
I decided not to correct you on air. I figured I'd let the audience do that.
Oh, we're gonna get
John Ritter,
anybody who
Jack
listens.
Tripper,
okay, you listen to this. Wait a minute, you listen to this episode, and if you get like 2 minutes in, you're like, "Rob's an idiot. How does he not know John Ritter?"
Firing off an angry tweet to @nextreel. Why did you hire these guys when they don't even know Jack Tripper?
Oh, I'm not
Jack
cutting
Tripper, John Ritter. It's an easy.
I am cutting none of this from this episode. Because that's awesome. Oh, literally, I'm looking at this going, right. That's what was in my head the whole time.
Yeah.
This is okay.
Yeah.
John,
John
Again,
Ritter.
John
Jack
Ritter,
Tripper.
awesome comedic actor.
Yes.
Please look him up if you're not familiar.
Also, his son is fantastic.
And his son, yes, absolutely.
I'm a huge fan of his.
So, anyway,
yes.
he goes.
So Bruce is like on his way out. He's like, "Oh man, I hope maybe I can get Stanley to save me some of that marinara to take on the road."
Yeah,
I know that's all he has left because I'm a considerate person,
and I know that I've been living a paranoid life forever. Right. But what? I don't listen to any commotion like outside the kitchen door.
No, because he's close. It's like it is. See, I'm estimating the time. I'm thinking it's probably 10 o'clock, but I really have no idea because there's more of this night will unfold. So we'll see. Sure. But I'm thinking like he's like it's like 10:02 by now.
Nobody here?
Like nobody's
gonna
be here. I mean, he's probably just cleaning up.
Because again, he's a smart guy. He closes the door and turns off all the lights.
Yeah. So meanwhile, poor Stanley is forced to make this very exotic pizza, which probably is on the menu. So let's give her that benefit. And then Leonard is telling a story, and I gotta think this is an ad lib. I gotta think Ty Burrell is just like, just make up some boring story from work. And he's doing it because I listened to that story, I read the stuff, and I'm like, what are you talking about? I listened to the whole thing a couple of times, and I was like, that doesn't. I mean, like, it's obviously supposed to be out of context too, but like, I have no idea where you be at was the punchline to that story, and it's like, I don't know what's going on there. So then, as he tells the story, that's like his big punchline, and he covers his face, and like as I'm like, oh my god, can you believe this guy? And drops down, and then there is a movement at the door, as Betty looks over, like you know where his head used to be, and sees something.
Something happened.
Something happened. Something with the door, and that's it. Like we just see a slight door movement, and that is where their minute ends.
Now, this is a very simple minute, and completely left in a no, like because
yeah.
Oh my God, is she going to see him? Like this could all go downhill really fast.
Yeah,
I do like. We'll remind you of this when we pick up with the next minute.
Yes,
there are some really great choices here in shot selection. Mm-hmm. We've now, when this all happens, we really start to focus on faces.
Yes.
And they're tight shots of expressions. And the Ty Burrell's face fills it from his eyebrows to his chin.
Yeah.
Fills the vertical part of the frame. There's a reason for this, but I can't talk about it until the next minute.
That's right. It'll all be answered in minute 42.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
So yeah, a lot of stuff going on. So anyway, we'll find out what was going on with that swinging door in our next episode. So in the meantime, if you want to track us down, you can follow us on all the social media stuff. We are The Next Reel at Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all that stuff. And you can find out more about this show in particular and what's going on with it at MarvelMovieMinute.com. So thank you all for listening. Hope you had a smashing good time. Until next time, true believers.
Bye.